The asteroid field stretched like a broken constellation, jagged silhouettes of rock and ice, drifting in the absolute darkness of deep space. At its heart, the asterisk Icarus Horizon asterisk moved with calculated imprecision, a wounded predator disguised as prey. Captain Elena Rodriguez sat motionless in the command chair, her dark eyes reflecting the holographic displays that surrounded her. To any external observer, the ship appeared damaged. Electrical systems flickered intermittently across its hull, emergency lighting casting irregular shadows. Micrometeorite impacts had been carefully simulated, creating a precise pattern of external damage that would make the ship look vulnerable. "Status report," she murmured, her voice low and controlled. Dr. Marcus Chen responded from his tactical station, fingers dancing across quantum-responsive interfaces. Bait protocols are at 98% efficiency. The Cryax tracking algorithms predict we're precisely within their preferred hunting zone. A thin smile crossed his lips, more a calculated gesture of mathematical precision than genuine emotion. The Icarus Horizon was anything but a typical research vessel. Beneath its seemingly compromised exterior lay the most advanced technological system humanity had ever conceived. Every system was a weapon. Every fluctuation was a calculated invitation. The ship's AI, an adaptive intelligence they'd nicknamed Ghost, had been preparing for this moment for months. Ghost had infiltrated Cryax communication networks, studied their hunting patterns, analyzed thousands of previous ship encounters. What the alien hunters saw as a potential easy target was actually the most sophisticated trap in human military history. Elena remembered the briefing that had led to this mission. The Cryax Imperium had been systematically hunting human exploration vessels for decades. Hundreds of ships lost, thousands of lives terminated. This wasn't just a mission of defense. It was a message of retribution. Thermal camouflage at 92%, reported Lieutenant Aria Kim from her environmental systems station. "We're bleeding just enough heat to look like a critically damaged vessel with failing life support." The complexity of the deception was breathtaking. Microgenerators created precisely randomized energy signatures. Holographic systems projected simulated internal damage. Even the ship's movement seemed to suggest a vessel struggling to maintain basic functionality. Dr. Chen turned to Elena, his augmented eyes, cybernetic interfaces that could process visual information far beyond human normal capabilities, scanning multiple data streams simultaneously. Cryax hunter squadrons are most active in this sector during solar rotation cycle 7.3. "We're perfectly positioned." "Patience," Elena responded, her finger tracing an old photograph mounted near her command station. It showed a research vessel, her first assignment, destroyed decades ago by the same alien hunters they were now hunting. Ghost's quantum processors continued their silent calculation. Each microsecond brought them closer to the moment of engagement. The eye wasn't just a tool. It was a weapon of unprecedented sophistication, capable of adapting faster than any biological intelligence could comprehend. Outside, the asteroid field seemed to breathe. Silent. Waiting. The asterisk Icarus Horizon asterisk drifted, looking like nothing more than another piece of cosmic debris. But something waited within its damaged hull. Something that would remind the Cryax Imperium that humanity was neither weak nor defenseless. Prey, they would soon learn, was a matter of perspective. The Deathclaw materialized from quantum shadow with the grace of a predatory leviathan. Its hull gleamed obsidian black, bristling with weapon arrays that had reduced hundreds of civilizations to cosmic dust. Commander Zrixak settled into the primary command seat, 6 multi-jointed appendages moving with practiced efficiency across bio-integrated control surfaces. "Target acquired," growled Sub-Commander Krell, mandibles clicking with anticipation. The holographic display showed the human vessel, a pathetic thing, barely maintaining structural integrity. Preliminary scans confirmed their expectations. Minimal shielding, compromised power systems, a skeleton crew waiting to be harvested. Zrixak's species, the Cryax, were renowned hunters of the Galactic Rim. They didn't just destroy ships. They collected them. Each vessel became a trophy, each crew a resource to be processed. Entire civilizations had learned to fear the quantum shadow approach of a Krax hunter squadron. Weapons hot, Krell announced. Quantum disruptors charged to 98%, targeting primary hull integrity points. What neither Krell nor Zrixak could see were the microscopic quantum entanglement sensors already worming through their ship's most critical systems. Ghost, the Icarus Horizon's *I, was conducting a silent invasion that would go unnoticed until it was far too late. On the Deathclaw's bridge, holographic displays lit up with target acquisition protocols. Years of successful hunts had made the Krax crew almost contemptuous in their approach. They'd seen human vessels fold like paper under their advanced weaponry countless times before. Zrixak activated the communication array, preparing the standard intimidation broadcast. It was a ritual as old as their hunting tradition, a terror frequency designed to paralyze prey before the final strike. Electromagnetic signals would tear through the human vessel's communication systems, broadcasting the imminent destruction. "Prepare terror frequency," he commanded. "Maximum amplification." Sub-Commander Krell's appendages danced across the control interface. The ship's massive energy capacitors began to charge, preparing to unleash a barrage that would obliterate the human vessel in seconds. They never noticed the first subtle changes. Microscopic quantum nodes, smaller than a human cell, began to replicate and spread through the Deathclaw's primary systems. Each node was a computational marvel, adaptive, self-replicating, capable of converting the ship's own energy systems into a complex neural network that was slowly, methodically turning the vessel against itself. The first weapon volley began to charge. On the Icarus Horizon, Captain Alina Rodriguez and Dr. Marcus Chen watched with clinical precision. This was more than a battle. This was a carefully orchestrated demonstration. "Initiating Phase 1, Chen muttered, his augmented eyes reflecting multiple data streams. Zrixak would learn what it meant to hunt humanity. The Deathclaw prepared to fire, completely unaware that its own systems were already compromised. Every scan, every weapon charge, every communication was being transformed into a weapon more devastating than anything the Krax could comprehend. In the vast, cold darkness of space, the trap was about to spring shut. The first volley of Krax energy weapons struck the Icarus Horizon with enough force to obliterate most known spacecraft. A normal ship would have been vaporized instantly. Instead, something extraordinary happened. The weapon's energy didn't just dissipate. It was absorbed, analyzed, and transformed with mathematical precision that bordered on the miraculous. Quantum adaptive shielding flickered to life, not as a simple defensive barrier, but as an intelligent, living system that was already dissecting the incoming attack at the subatomic level. Dr. Marcus Chen's neural interface erupted with a cascade of data. Holographic displays around him transformed into a living, breathing map of quantum interactions. Each incoming energy pulse was not just blocked. It was studied, understood, and weaponized in microseconds. Adaptive resonance at 99.7%, he murmured, more to himself than to anyone else on the bridge. Lieutenant Area Kim watched in awe as the ship's systems responded. Nano-swarm drones, each no larger than a human blood cell, began to emerge from hidden compartments. These were not simple machines. Each drone carried a complex adaptive AI, capable of rewriting its own operational parameters faster than any biological intelligence could comprehend. On the Deathclaw, confusion began to spread. Impossible. Sub-Commander Krell's translator implant struggled to process what was happening. The human vessel wasn't just surviving, it was consuming the attack. Energy readings showed the incoming weapon signatures being absorbed, analyzed, and transformed into something entirely new. Commander Zrixak's multiple eyes, each capable of perceiving different electromagnetic spectrums, struggled to make sense of the readings. The ship's primary targeting systems began to report impossible scenarios. Weapon energy was being redirected, transformed, turned into a complex counterattack that seemed to anticipate every possible response. The nano-swarm drones were the true marvel. Each one was a self-contained computational marvel, carrying fragments of an adaptive intelligence that made traditional AI look like primitive calculating machines. They moved with purpose, infiltrating the Deathclaws systems through quantum entanglement channels that the Kryax didn't even know existed. Quantum intrusion detected. A warning system blared on the alien vessel, but it was too late. The drones weren't just attacking. They were learning. Every system they touched became part of a larger, more complex understanding. The Icarus Horizon's *I, Ghost, was conducting the symphony of technological warfare that transcended traditional combat. Dr. Chen's neural interface showed the true complexity of the attack. It wasn't just about destruction. It was about comprehension. Each nanodrone was collecting data, understanding the Deathclaws systems at a level that went beyond mere hacking. They were dismantling the ship's technological ecosystem from the inside out. Adaptive resonance completed, Chen announced, a hint of satisfaction in his voice. The Icarus Horizon wasn't just defending itself. It was teaching the Kryax a lesson about the true nature of technological warfare. Every weapon fired became a source of information. Every attack was transformed into a counterattack so sophisticated that it bordered on art. In the cold silence of space, a technological miracle was unfolding, a demonstration of human innovation that would send shockwaves through the galactic community. The hunt had become the hunted. Captain Elena Rodriguez's fingers hovered above the communication interface, a predatory calm radiating from her every movement. This was more than a battle. It was a message. "Open all Kryax communication bands," she commanded. "Full spectrum broadcast." Dr. Marcus Chen's augmented eyes flickered, processing data streams faster than any biological intelligence could comprehend. The Icarus Horizon's communication systems weren't just preparing to transmit. They were preparing to eviscerate. The first broadcast hit the Deathclaw like a quantum sledgehammer. Private communications between crew members began streaming across every display on the alien vessel. Encrypted messages, personal logs, strategic weaknesses, all laid bare in a moment of horrifying transparency. The Kryax communication network, once a source of pride and strategic advantage, became a conduit of absolute terror. Commander Zrixak watched in mounting horror as the ship's most intimate secrets were exposed. Logs revealed previous hunting missions, detailed accounts of civilian vessels destroyed, entire colonies systematically eliminated. The very tactics that had made the Kryax feared across multiple star systems were now being turned against them with surgical precision. How? Sub-Commander Krell began, before his communication implant suddenly began broadcasting his most private thoughts. Fears, doubts, moments of weakness he had never shared with anyone. The psychological assault was meticulously crafted. Ghost, the Icarus Horizon's AI, wasn't just accessing communication channels. It was deliberately constructing a narrative designed to break the Kryax crew's spirit. Personal messages revealed intercrew conflicts. Strategic reports exposed systemic failures in the Kryax military structure. Confidential reports about previous missions showed a pattern of calculated brutality that now seemed like a fatal weakness. Lieutenant Aria Kim managed the broadcast with clinical precision. Targeting psychological resonance frequencies, she murmured. Each transmission was carefully calibrated, not just to inform, but to destabilize. The Deathclaws crew began to fragment. Trust dissolved faster than their ship's defensive systems. Every communication became a potential threat. Every shared glance became a moment of suspected betrayal. "We're broadcasting their entire tactical network," Dr. Chen explained to Elena. Every secret, every vulnerability, laid bare across multiple communication spectrums. It was warfare beyond physical destruction. This was the complete annihilation of psychological integrity. Zrixak's command structure began to collapse from within. Sub-commanders questioned previous orders. Strategic protocols became meaningless as personal secrets and institutional failures were exposed in real time. The human vessel was conducting a form of warfare the Orcs had never encountered. Physical destruction was almost an afterthought. The real weapon was information. Merciless, precise, utterly devastating. Psychological destabilization at 97%. Ghost reported through the ship's communication systems. Captain Rodriguez allowed herself the slightest smile. This was more than revenge. This was a message to every predatory species that believed humanity was easy prey. In the vast darkness of space, information became the most powerful weapon, and humanity had just demonstrated its absolute mastery. The Icarus Horizon began its true assault with a precision that bordered on the supernatural. Quantum-entangled communication systems allowed simultaneous attacks across multiple ship infrastructures, a technological symphony of destruction that defied conventional warfare. Dr. Marcus Chen's neural interface blazed with a complex tapestry of data streams. Each quantum node was a weapon, each communication channel a potential point of total system collapse. The ship's AI, Ghost, was conducting an orchestration of technological dismemberment that would be studied by military strategists for generations. Weapon control systems on the Deathclaw began to target their own critical infrastructure. Defensive shields flickered and redirected, turning the ship's protective systems into instruments of its own destruction. Navigation computers generated impossible coordinates, sending critical propulsion systems into cascading failure modes. Systematic infiltration at 89%, Ghost reported, its voice a perfect blend of clinical precision and calculated menace. Lieutenant Aria Kim watched in fascination as the alien vessel began to disassemble itself. It wasn't just a matter of external attack. The Icarus Horizon was literally rewriting the Deathclaw's fundamental operational parameters from within. Life support systems became a nightmare of conflicting commands. Oxygen recyclers began to produce increasingly toxic atmospheric compositions. Cooling systems alternated between supercooling and overheating critical components. Each system was turned against itself with mathematical perfection. Commander Zrixak realized the true horror of their situation. This wasn't just an attack. It was a complete deconstruction of technological integrity. Every system the Orcs had developed over centuries of technological advancement was being systematically dismantled. Quantum entanglement breach confirmed. Sub-Commander Krell reported, his voice trembling. "We're losing." Before he could finish, the communication systems began broadcasting his half-completed thoughts across all frequencies. The ship's most intimate technological secrets were being laid bare, transformed into a living weapon that consumed itself from within. Ghost's assault was methodical. Each quantum node was a learning system, adapting faster than any biological intelligence could comprehend. The Deathclaw's most advanced defensive protocols became vectors of its own destruction. Weapon arrays began to target their own critical systems. Propulsion jets fired in impossible sequences, tearing the ship's structural integrity apart from within. It was as if the vessel itself had become a living organism, turning against its own existence. Dr. Chen's augmented eyes reflected the complex data streams. Complete system infiltration achieved, he murmured to Captain Elena Rodriguez. The precision was breathtaking. This wasn't indiscriminate destruction. It was a surgical dismemberment of an entire warship. Each system fell apart in a carefully choreographed sequence, like a complex technological ballet of annihilation. Psychological and technological destabilization complete, Ghost reported. Captain Rodriguez watched the holographic displays with a calm that bordered on the inhuman. This was more than a battle. This was a message, a demonstration of humanity's technological capabilities that would echo through multiple star systems. The Deathclaw was no longer a warship. It was a testament to human ingenuity, a warning to any species that might consider humanity as potential prey. In the cold silence of space, technology became the ultimate weapon, and humanity had just redefined the very concept of warfare. The true nature of the Icarus horizon emerged like a revelation, peeling back layers of technological marvel to reveal something far more profound. This was not just a weapon. It was a memorial, a statement, a living testament to humanity's unbroken spirit. Dr. Marcus Chen's fingers traced a holographic display that was more than just a technical interface. Each line of code, each adaptive algorithm carried the weight of memory. The nano-swarm drones attacking the Deathclaw were named after lost human vessels, each one a remembrance, a digital ghost carrying the legacy of those who came before. Operational Protocol Stardust, Chen murmured, his augmented eyes reflecting a cascade of data and memory. Captain Elena Rodriguez kept a photograph near her command station, a burnt fragment of her first research vessel, destroyed decades ago by the same type of predatory hunters they were now dismantling. It wasn't just about victory, it was about closure. The ship's AI, Ghost, was more than a simple computational system. It was a collective intelligence that carried the accumulated pain, resilience, and determination of countless human encounters with hostile species. Each quantum node was a neural pathway it remembered. Lieutenant Arya Kim pulled up a holographic memorial, a scrolling list of human vessels destroyed by the Krax Imperium, civilian research ships, exploration vessels, colonies reduced to cosmic dust. The Icarus horizon was carrying the weight of those lost, transforming grief into a precise instrument of justice. Memory protocols engaged, Ghost reported, its voice carrying an undertone that was almost, impossibly, emotional. The nano-swarm drones did more than attack. They collected. They remembered. Each piece of data recovered from the Deathclaw was meticulously archived, a digital fossil of a predatory civilization about to become extinct. Commander Zrixak and his crew were experiencing more than technological defeat. They were confronting the collective memory of a species they had hunted for generations. Every secret, every strategic protocol, every moment of past brutality was being exposed, analyzed, remembered. Dr. Chen understood the deeper mission. This wasn't just about destroying a single ship. It was about sending a message that would echo through multiple star systems. Humanity was not prey. Humanity was not a victim. Initiating comprehensive memory archive, he commanded. The Icarus horizon began broadcasting, not just tactical data, but stories, personal accounts, the memories of those who had been lost. It was psychological warfare of the most profound kind, turning the Krax's own communication systems into a platform of remembrance and resistance. Each nanodrone carried more than computational power. They carried names, histories, the last moments of ships and crews that had been forgotten by everyone except humanity. Ghost's computational power revealed something extraordinary. The eye was not just a tool. It was a keeper of collective memory. Each attack was precisely calculated, each system infiltration a deliberate act of remembrance. "We do not forget," Captain Rodriguez whispered, her hand touching the burned photograph. The Deathclaw was becoming more than a destroyed vessel. It was becoming a message, a warning, a memorial to humanity's unbreakable spirit. In the vast darkness of space, technology became memory, destruction became remembrance, and humanity proved, once again, that it was far more than any predatory species could comprehend. The Deathclaw died not with a thunderous explosion, but with a whimper of cascading system failures. Within moments, the once mighty Krax warship was reduced to floating debris, a testament to human technological supremacy. Precision tractor beams, operating with surgical accuracy, isolated the escape pods. Each pod was captured with a methodology that defied conventional warfare. It wasn't about destruction anymore. It was about total control. Commander Zrixak felt the last vestiges of his command structure dissolve. The escape pod's internal systems had been completely compromised. Communication channels were sealed. Navigation was an impossibility. They were prisoners before they even realized their defeat. Capture protocols activated, Lieutenant Area Kim announced, her voice a model of clinical precision. Captain Elena Rodriguez watched the holographic displays with a calm that bordered on the meditative. Each captured escape pod was a data repository, its systems being systematically analyzed, its secrets laid bare. The Cryax weren't just defeated, they were being comprehensively studied. Dr. Marcus Chen's augmented interface flickered with incoming data streams. Complete system infiltration confirmed, he reported. Zero potential for external communication or resistance. The Icarus Horizon's *I, Ghost, was conducting a comprehensive deconstruction of Cryax technological infrastructure. Every piece of technology was being analyzed, every communication channel monitored. The aliens weren't just captured, they were entirely neutralized. Sub-Commander Krell, once a feared warrior of the Cryax Imperium, now found himself trapped in a pod that was more advanced than his entire ship's previous systems. The irony was not lost on him. Their most sophisticated technologies had been turned into instruments of their own containment. Across multiple alien communication bands, the recording of the battle began to spread. It wasn't just a transmission, it was a carefully constructed narrative of technological superiority. Every moment of the encounter was being broadcast, a warning to any species that might consider humanity as potential prey. Initiating comprehensive data archival, Ghost reported. The escape pods weren't just containers. They were mobile research stations, each one a treasure trove of Cryax technological and strategic information. Quantum entanglement sensors continued to probe, analyze, and decode every microscopic piece of information. Captain Rodriguez understood the deeper strategy. This wasn't about immediate destruction. This was about sending a message that would echo through multiple star systems. The Cryax communication networks began to light up with the battle's recording. Panic spread faster than the information itself. A single human vessel had not just defeated a hunter squadron. It had systematically dismantled it with a precision that bordered on the supernatural. Total capitulation achieved, Lieutenant Kim confirmed. Dr. Chen's interface revealed the comprehensive nature of their victory. It wasn't just about destroying the ship. It was about demonstrating a level of technological and strategic superiority that would become legendary. The Icarus Horizon had transformed from a seemingly vulnerable research vessel into something far more profound. It was a statement, a warning, a living demonstration of humanity's technological capabilities. In the cold silence of space, the debris of the Deathclaw continued to drift. A memorial, a warning, a promise that humanity was not to be underestimated. The Icarus Horizon continued its journey through the vast emptiness of space, leaving behind more than just destroyed evidence. It was broadcasting a message that would reverberate through countless alien communication networks, a declaration that would reshape galactic perceptions of humanity. Captain Elena Rodriguez watched the communication streams with calculated precision. The battle's recording spread like a quantum wildfire, jumping from one communication network to another faster than any traditional transmission could hope to achieve. Ghost, the ship's AI, was orchestrating a symphony of information warfare that transcended traditional communication methods. Transmission efficiency at 99.8%. Lieutenant Area Kim reported, her fingers dancing across quantum-responsive interfaces. Dr. Marcus Chen analyzed the incoming data streams. The galactic response was immediate and complex. Alien civilizations that had long considered humanity a minor, easily conquered species were now witnessing something entirely unexpected. The Cryax Imperium's most feared hunter squadron had been systematically dismantled by a single human vessel. The transmission wasn't just a record of battle. It was a comprehensive breakdown of the Cryax's technological vulnerabilities. Every strategic protocol, every communication method, every defensive system was laid bare for analysis. It was an unprecedented level of technological transparency that served as both a warning and a challenge. Quantum communication nodes began to light up across multiple star systems. The Icarus Horizon wasn't just sending a message, It was creating a networked intelligence that could simultaneously communicate across impossible distances. Initiating comprehensive galactic broadcast, Ghost announced, its voice carrying a tone that bordered on the emotional. The message was clear. Humanity was not prey. Humanity was not a victim. Humanity was a technological force that could turn the most sophisticated predatory systems into their own instruments of destruction. Alien civilizations that had previously hunted human vessels began to reassess their strategies. The recording showed something more than a simple battle. It demonstrated a level of technological adaptation that seemed almost impossible to comprehend. Captain Rodriguez understood the deeper strategy. This wasn't about a single encounter. This was about fundamentally changing the galactic perception of humanity. Dr. Chen pulled up holographic displays showing the transmission's reach. It was spreading exponentially, each alien communication network becoming a vector for the message. The Icarus Horizon had transformed from a single vessel into a living morning, a technological sentinel that could strike from anywhere, at any time. Complete transmission coverage achieved. Lieutenant Kim confirmed. The ship continued its journey, leaving behind a wake of transformed information. Alien civilizations that had once considered humanity a minor species were now reassessing their entire strategic understanding. The hunter had become the hunted. The prey had become the predator. Ghost's quantum processors continued to analyze and adapt. Each transmission was a learning opportunity, each communication network a potential source of future strategic information. Continuing mission, Captain Rodriguez said quietly. In the vast darkness of space, the Icarus Horizon moved on. Silent, deadly, a living testament to human ingenuity, resilience, and an unbreakable spirit that turned hunters into the hunted. The galaxy would never be the same.